It has a life of its own. And it's living for that period of time with you. All that was true with On Fire. But certain things were different this time around. I'd spent years imagining things for my fiction, all the stories and the novels I'd written. In this case, however, every event had already happened, or was happening as I wrote it, when I was still at the fire department. Usually it was a simple matter of remembering the situations, and that wasn't hard because so many of the things that happened over those 16 years left an indelible impression on my memory. You don't forget death and pain, or fear. All the events were there, but I had to try and make some sense out of it. This book is an attempt to explore what I felt about my years in the fire service, and what it was like to live through those years, and the way two totally different careers had to mesh and make room for each other until one of them finished first. There's a ton of stuff that's not in here that could have been, but in whatever I'm writing, I want to put in only the things the story needs and leave everything else out. I've tried to do that here as well. Larry Brown, May 26, 1993, Yocona, Mississippi. I love what I do with my hands and with the hose. I love the knots I know how to tie, the clove hitch for raising equipment to a high window, the mighty bowline that is the only one you can trust your life to, the only one you tie before rappelling off a building. You tie it to a chimney or a strong piece of steel, and then you run the line through the steel loop at your safety belt, and then you step off the edge and lean back and trust your life to it. And it never lets you down. You walk backwards down the side of the building, not ever fearing, not ever thinking about what might happen if it slips, because it won't slip. You have to believe in the bowline before you can believe you can rappel. I love the way the lights are set up on the side of the road at a wreck. And I love the way the hearse tool opens with its incredible strength. And I love the way it crushes the roof posts of a car. And I love the way you can nudge it into the hinges of a door and pop the pins off and let the door fall and reach in to see your patient's legs and what position they're in. I love to drive to any incident. Love to run the siren, to run fast but careful through town. I love the smell of smoke and the feeling of fear that comes on me when I see that a fire is already through the roof and licking at the sky, because I know that I am about to be tested again. My muscles, my brain, my heart. I love my old torn-up boots, the toes skinned and burned, my wrinkled gloves, soot-streaked and charred, my dirty coat and frayed turnout pants. I love to go down on the floor and see the smoke over me, worm my way forward to the fire, the hose as hard as a brick, the scuffed rubber on the end of the fog nozzle. I love the 2.5-inch hoses and the big chrome nozzles that no one man can hold, the red axes and the pry bars and the pike poles that we tear down ceilings with, looking for devious pockets of fire, sneaky little bastards that will smolder and rekindle the house after we're back at the fire station asleep in our beds. And I love to stand at the pump panel and set the relief valve and hear it open when a line is shut down. And I love to know that I can operate this $200,000 piece of equipment like I've been taught, so that nobody will get his ass burned up because of me. I love going to a bar called Ireland's with my partners when we're off duty. And I love the movies we watch at the station, and the meals we cook and eat, and the targets we shoot with our bows in the afternoons. Washing our cars and trucks in the parking lot, and sitting out front of the station in chairs at night, hollering at people we know passing on the street. These men are like a family to me. And the only thing I can relate it to is being in the Marine Corps, where everybody, black or white or brown or tan, wore the same uniform, all assembled for a common purpose, a brotherhood. This thing's the same thing. I'm a grown man, but I only weigh about 135 pounds soaking wet. I'm nearly the smallest guy in the department, which is a disadvantage sometimes when feats of strength are called for. Say if you're breaking down a door with an axe beside some big guy who's about 6'3" and 250 or so. All you can do is keep swinging, keep trying to get the job done. Our department has 39 men, 3 stations, 4 pumpers, 1 ladder truck that will also pump plenty, 1 crash truck, 1 van, 3 pickups, and 2 cars and 3 miles of hose. We also have ladders, axes, forcible entry tools, rappelling gear, ropes, safety belts, breathing apparatus, nozzles, generators, a hearse tool, jaws of life, flashlights, pike poles, entry saws, bolt cutters, fire extinguishers, and many, many, many other tools. All of this stuff is very expensive, and most of it will hurt you. Pinch your fingers off, cut you or bruise you or abrade you in some way that will be pretty painful later. I say later because of adrenaline. Your kid knocks the car out of gear. It begins to roll down a hill. You run and catch it and stop it by grabbing the bumper because of adrenaline. A man turns a tractor over on himself, and his son lifts it off. That, too, is adrenaline at work. The gland flowing, making you more than you normally would be. The adrenaline starts pumping when we run to the trucks. When the big starter kicks in and she rolls over and coughs like a dinosaur waking up, the adrenaline is flowing. It makes you not feel pain. Not ignore it, actually, just not even feel it when it happens. It's happened to me, and I've seen it happen to other men at fires and wrecks, and it's there to protect you, make you strong so you don't get hurt. Adrenaline lets people do what they have to, what they might not be able to do without it, even if they had to. Potential disaster. Maybe that's why I can't sleep. I fear 2 things more than others: a leaking gasoline tanker and a leaking liquid propane container, whether stationary or on wheels, turned over in a ditch or whatever. Ignition from whatever source. A cigarette, the hot tailpipe or manifold on a car down the road will be what kills you and all your men. Your pretty red fire trucks. Anybody else who couldn't or didn't run. But I also fear ammonium nitrate and malathion and planes crashing at my airport and lots of other things. Wrecks on the way to anything. Backdrafts, flashovers. Also not having anything decent on HBO to watch when I'm on duty. We prefer S&V, sex and violence. But we'll go with a nature show on the Discovery Channel if that's all that's flowing. We can't stay adrenalined up all the time. Things in this room. Radio, mic, scanner, encoder, fire phone, dispatcher's desk, chair, Playboy magazines, maps, a 5-foot square aerial photo of the University of Mississippi, TV, VCR, uniform shirts hanging on the wall, microwave, stove, refrigerator, sink, coffee pot, an empty cake bell smeared with pink frosting, a 4-foot stick with a crooked plastic finger screwed into the end of it with the ominous words, "The Finger," written on it in green ink.